Hi, this is Health Talks with Don and Tracy, and today we're going to do part 2 of exercise. Say hi to Tracy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm Don Varney, and what we're going to do today is we're going to take the experiences that we've had as professional athletes, world-class athletes, high-level athletes, personal trainers. Both of us were personal trainers, and/or I believe you still are a personal trainer.
Yes.
So it's something that we've done. Plus, I've been in athletics my entire life, so that means I have worked out every week for as far back as I could remember prior to the health issue that struck me down. And I still exercise, and I'll explain that. The last thing we talked about slow and long, we talked about high intensity and proper technique. But I think today it's important to talk about struggles and plateaus. One of the hardest things is that we'll start working out and we'll struggle with, is it working? We'll get a weight loss and all of a sudden our weight doesn't go off anymore, and we're going to the gym and we're doing all these things and we've just plateaued. One of the things that I would like to say to you is struggles are a part of life, and exercise is a part of you having a healthy life. Plateaus come as your body is trying to catch up and stabilize itself. And what happens is sometimes you've done the same thing repetitively so much that now your body's not really reacting to it. And that's where interval training or different types of training is important. But I do want to stress to those that are just getting started, walking can be done 7 days a week. You can just literally walk 15 minutes from your house, turn around and walk home. And that foundational exercise of that 30-minute long and slow will do amazing things for you in starting your workout life, your exercise life, and then build on that to do the other things that Tracy's going to start talking about now, some of the other things that you can do, finding out what works for you.
Right. That was really well said, Don. About the plateauing. Your body will get used to doing the same thing over and over, and eventually you'll have to step up your game, and increase the intensity a little bit. So I know that in my personal life, exercise has always been a part of my life. I can't go a day without it, and it's important to do that. I spent a lot of years training for races, and that's all I did. It just took over my life, and I got really burned out. So a couple of years ago, I stopped all of the racing, took a step back, and just really thought about what it was I wanted to do and how I wanted my exercise program to look. So now I do something a little bit different every day. One day I'll do yoga. One day I might just go for a 45 or hour long walk outside. Some days I do a long run. I might have 1 or 2 days at Orange Theory, which is high intensity interval training. But every day is something different. And so I'm challenging my body along the way. But the other thing is, everything I do, I love. And I think that's the key. You don't have to do something that you really hate to do. Like I said, you do not have to run. And walking is the best place to start. That's really good advice. And you work your way up from that. And the other thing is, too, is find something that's going to keep you motivated and to keep going. And that may be buddying up with a partner. Your best friend, you and your buddy, you do your 30-minute walks every day. Or if you work out better alone, find out what's going to work for you, keep you motivated, and keep you going.
To add on to that buddy thing, when I was training for half Ironman triathlons, I trained 5 days a week by myself. But every Saturday, I had a training buddy. And he was also training by himself, and it was because of work conflicts. So the excuse would have been, we can't work out together, so I'm not going to do it. We decided just do it whenever we could through the first 5 days, but every Saturday we met, and we made that our long training day. That was where we might ride the bike for 20 miles and get off and run 3 or 4 miles. We might go to the pool and swim. We might do whatever we needed to do, but that was going to be our long day. And that having that friend to look forward to Saturday made me want to train during the week so I'd be ready for Saturday.
Right, keeps you a little bit accountable.
And a little bit competitive.
Right.
Because I didn't want him to beat me is basically what it amounted to. So that's That's so important to consider. So buddy training doesn't mean you have to be together all the time.
Right.
You know, you can have those separation things, but the D is the accountability to know that at least once a week you're going to get together and go.
Mm-hmm.
And the long walks are great because this is a great time to just communicate, talk. Because see, if you can walk and talk, you're about the right speed.
Yep.
You know, that's the best way to remember that.
Good point.
You know, I think it's important too, once you start exercising, you kind of do it automatically. But at the beginning, I think you need to make an appointment with yourself. Put it on your calendar that today I'm going to work out, tomorrow I'm going to do this, the next day I'm going to do this. And put it on your calendar so you look at it every day. What do you think?
I think that's a great point. You know, we're all busy, and it's always a really easy excuse to say, nope, didn't have time for it today.
Yeah.
But you know what? We can schedule it in. If it's a priority, which it should be, to move your body every day, it really does need to be scheduled into every part of your day. And get up 30 minutes earlier and do your walk in the morning with your friend.
Yeah.
Whatever is going to work for you. If you're a late night person, do your walk when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
Pick the time that's good for you, that's going to work for your schedule, that you know you're going to stick to, and put it in your calendar every day.
Yep, totally agree with that. And I'll just end my portion by saying that when I broke both hips, knees, and ankles, of which I've been recovering on, I bought a recumbent bicycle. And the idea behind the recumbent bicycle was to keep motion in these lower joints. And I ride that recumbent bicycle 6 days a week for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. And I make, as you say, and I've said, I make an appointment with myself to do that every day. And I don't let it go by.
Yeah, Don, and I give you so much credit because I know that the pain you live in every day, and so many people would use that as an excuse not to exercise. But just good for you for doing that every single day and finding something that works for you.
Well, thanks. I sure appreciate that. Well, Tracy, we're heading toward the close again. Guys, this has been Health Talks with Don and Tracy. I hope you've enjoyed this segment on exercise and some pointers for you. I know that we'll be back next week, and I'll let Tracy give you some contact information, and then I'll do the same.
I can be reached at 210-818-3278, or please don't hesitate to call us with any emails with any questions. We might even do a show on it at alivehealthtx@gmail.com.
And you can call me if you want information on the enzymes or any other things that you might have that I've spoken on. And my number is 210-241-3282, or you can contact me on email at enzymesorders@gmail.com. Again, it's been Health Talks with Don and Tracy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.